In this section, we're going to talk about deception. It's a key component of the security services in the Zscaler Zero Trust Exchange. You can think of deception as a threat detection layer of a Zero Trust architecture. Zscaler Deception will help you detect and stop stealthy attacks that have bypassed existing defenses. These attacks could be anything ranging from hands-on keyboard ransomware operators and nation-state threat groups to malicious insiders. We're going to look at why deception is important and relevant as part of your Zero Trust architecture, how it works, and how you can approach operationalizing the solution and its use cases. So, without further ado, let's dive in. We're going to start with a simple thought experiment to understand how deception works conceptually and why it is so effective even against the most sophisticated attackers. Consider this scenario for a moment. There's a pot of gold that you need to protect, and here we've got a bad guy who wants to steal this pot of gold. Now, in order to stop the bad guy from getting to the pot of gold, our security team has taken certain measures. Think of these walls as your firewall, these CCTV cameras as your monitoring systems, and this guard as your security operations center. Now, our bad guy here isn't your average hacker. He is part of an organized ransomware group. They've done their homework and know that you've got a firewall, network monitoring, and a SOC. With all of that knowledge, he circumvents your defenses and runs off with a pot of gold. Now let's see what would happen in the same situation if we had deception in the environment. This time I'm going to add fake pots of gold. In an IT environment, these would be replicas of everything in your network. These could be endpoints, users, servers, databases, files, applications, passwords. Literally any IT artifact you can think of, we can make a decoy for it. Now our bad guy here knew about the CCTV cameras and security guards, but he has no idea that we've placed decoys to trap him. And when he makes his first move, we catch him and we cut him off. So if there's one takeaway here, it's that advanced attackers know your strategy. They understand what defenses you might have and will easily bypass them. On the other hand, decoys make your environment unpredictable and hostile to the bad guys. It disrupts their playbooks and detects them when other defenses fail. Now that we have a conceptual understanding of deception as a threat detection approach, let's take a look at some of the key use cases that we can help with. The first one is disrupting stealthy attacks. The number one problem that organizations face is that in cases where high impact breaches actually happen, we're often dealing with a human adversary sitting behind a keyboard. These adversaries are persistent and relentless. As an industry, we've gotten good at dealing with the tech behind an attack, but we're still pretty far behind when it comes to dealing with the human behind the attack. Sophisticated attackers keep changing their tactics, tools, and techniques, and therefore defending against them is challenging. With deception, we detect stealthy adversaries and disrupt their attacks. The second use case is detecting compromised users. Identity is the centerpiece of security. With credentials actively being stolen using phishing attacks and from the dark web, identity compromise is a key challenge. While a zero trust architecture reduces the attack surface, having the ability to detect compromised users early on is essential for stopping an incident from becoming a full-blown breach. Deception is one of the most effective approaches to detecting when a user has been compromised. And the third use case is lateral movement. Once an attacker has access to the environment, they use the compromised identity to remain hidden and move from one system to the other. At Zscaler, we have solved this problem by making apps invisible to the internet, and that eliminates the external attack surface. But the internal attack surface very much continues to exist. It is only a matter of time before an attacker compromises a user and then uses that identity to traverse this internal attack surface. Most security teams find it extremely difficult to catch attackers during the lateral movement phase because once inside, attack activity is indistinguishable from legitimate user activity. Deception is great for detecting and stopping lateral movement as well. When you already have access to a great solution, when to deploy it becomes a trade-off between existing priorities and potential benefits. We know that you are busy and want to be respectful of your time, so it's worthwhile to have a look at what you can expect if you prioritize deploying Zscaler Deception. Our customers have seen, on an average, a 167% improvement in their opportunity to detect an advanced attack like ransomware. What this means is that simply by having deception in your environment, you are much more likely to detect and stop advanced attacks than you would normally do. Almost all of our customers benefit from significantly reduced alert volume. Deception alerts by their very nature have low false positive properties. Since decoys are hidden from legitimate users and strategically placed to intercept attacks, Any alert raised by a decoy is a high confidence indicator of a breach. Deception will not add operational overhead for your team in terms of alert volume, and your SOC will be able to use these low false positive and high fidelity alerts to automate containment or for orchestration as part of their workflow. And finally, you will see a significant increase in locally generated threat intelligence compared to what you get as part of your traditional threat intelligence feed. Deception based telemetry is a great source of local threat intelligence, providing valuable insights into who is targeting you. To summarize, when you deploy Zscaler Deception, you'll be able to detect and stop serious threats faster without adding any significant overhead to your security operations team.